That was pure insanity. Yes, this is playing in both theaters and on HBO Max, but oh no, go see this in theaters. Sure, the trailer looked fine. I'm a huge fan of James Wan's movies, so I was looking forward to this, even if the trailer maybe looked derivative. But now having seen this film, that now seems wildly intentional that the trailer looks like that. No, really, go into this movie blind. As in a lot of his other movies, he's brilliant at letting suspenseful moods happen, and makes great use of silhouettes, shadows, sound, weird shit in the background. Not to mention great camera work, like room settings changing, and a great overhead shot of a character running through various rooms in her house. It's a movie I was enjoying more and more as it went along, and I'll touch more on that in a bit. But what kind of goes along like a horror movie Drop Dead Fred at first, takes a radical turn, and is one of my favorite horror reveals in a very long time. When this happens in the movie, my jaw dropped. I sat back, and I'm pretty sure my heart stopped. And it stayed like this for the rest of the film. I'm fairly certain I'm dead now. I could see people maybe being split on this third act. You're either gonna go along with how crazy and over the top it is, or maybe not. But me personally, I was with it hardcore. There's a jail and police station scene in this that's glorious madness. All that being said, and there's so much that I flat out love about this movie, I still did have some issues with it as a whole. Really, in the first half hour or so, I wasn't digging a lot of it. It's got an opening scene with extremely cheesy lines, silly zooms, and not great line delivery. So much so, I was wondering if it was gonna be one of those movies where the opening scene is like a stereotypically cheesy horror movie, and then you find out it's a movie within the movie that the characters are watching. No, that wasn't the case, and those criticisms I had kinda continued for a bit. You are thrust into this possible supernatural story without spending a lot of time with the characters first, and some of the lines were very network television, whether it's a standard melodrama or by-the-numbers police procedural with really generic lines, plus soap opera-like music cues and zooms. But I was invested in the story enough to still be wondering where it was going. The direction was helping, and I was loving the villain, and really curious what the explanation would be. And boy, does it deliver on that! Now granted, a little about my theatrical experience here. I saw this in a giant theater, one of the biggest rooms in the place, and it was near dead. And yet this couple still decided to pick their seats just a few seats down from me. And they were talkers, so eventually I was like, okay, screw assigned seating, and I got up and moved to another spot in the theater. It was around the time of moving seats that the movie got better for me. James Wan is having a blast with this film, from clearly showing love for movies like The Entity, or Giallo films, or Frank Henenlotter movies, and his own films too, from the Conjuring movies of course, but also to Saw and his action films. It is all elements of James Wan movies in one twisted flick. There is some A+ stuff in this film, from the carnage to the second half, the design of this villain, which is gonna stick in my memory for a long ass time, and Gabriel is truly a new horror icon. I want to give this movie something in the A range, but I did still have issues with the first act, so this is an extremely positive B+. And looks like the voters over in our community section called it on this one too. Okay, I really hope you enjoy this flick, and subscribe to our channel today, plus hit the notification bell. See you next time.